वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपां बुद्धीयतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनकारणम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Warm welcome everyone in the study of Nectar of Instruction. So we'll continue our study. Today's text is text 5, which we will be seeing. Again, this nectar of instruction given by Srila Rupa Goswami to help us not just advance in Krishna consciousness, but to attain Krishna. And we cannot skip or bypass these instructions, no. No. And it's not like, sometimes it is seen like, what? Oh, bhakti, why do you need so much education in bhakti? People say, no, bhakti is a thing of the heart. Bhakti is inside. Bhakti is inside me. I don't need any education. I don't need someone telling me, or I don't need some any formal setting or classes or notes making or anything. No. ठीक है. Mahaprabhu also says, na, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ji in Chaitanya Chaitamrita writes says, na, नित्य सिद्ध कृष्ण प्रेम साध्य कबू है श्रवण आदि शुद्ध चित्त करे उदय. So this Krishna Prem, love of Krishna, is there in all of us, very fixed. But it needs reviving, it needs coming out. On how does it come out? In sadhu sang, in satsang. Satsang is what? Association of saintly people. Who is a saintly person? One who is attached to Krishna. साधु की परिभाषा हुई ना, जो भगवान पे आश्रित हो. One who is sheltered by Krishna, one who has taken shelter of Krishna, one who is attached to Krishna, one who is performing devotional service. So satsang, na? Satsang, taking association of a person who has attained attraction towards eternity. सत्पुरुष में का संग करना is satsang. Taking the association of a transcendental personality is satsang, sadhu sang. And this association, another meaning of association, another word, another meaning of association is what? Attachment. Association should invoke attachment. Association should make us attached. If we are associating for months, days, years, but not attached. Again, yes, we cannot be attached to everyone, say. That is not practical, that is not possible. But in practicing devotional service, we have to be attached at least to spiritual master, at least to Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, called counselor, mentor, whatever. One has to be attached. And there should be some devotee friend with whom I am very attached. That should be there. So, this satsang is something which will stop time for us. Association of devotees will make the time stop. And it is this satsang, association of devotees, that will put us in an eternal time zone. We can experience for ourselves that the best time of our life, or the in a day also the best time, the best, say, duration, the best slot in the day is when we are in association with devotees. That is the best time of the day. That is the best slot of the day for all of us. When we are associating with devotees, when we are doing japa in association with devotees, reading, hearing, chanting, honoring prasadam, performing bhakti in association with devotees. And bhakti is never done in isolation. Krishna is never alone. Bhakti is done in association of devotees, and this is through this nectar of instruction these nectars, these instructions, we purify our consciousness. We pray for more and more deeper and deeper devotee association. It is in devotee association or by devotee blessings we get the realizations, deeper and profound and real realizations to further tune ourselves in Krishna consciousness, to further continue practicing Krishna consciousness, to further find our more and more vigor, more and more charm, newer and newer charm in the practice of Krishna consciousness. So we will discover, we have to discover, and we will discover as we are associating with devotees and engaged in devotional service. That would be the best engagement, the best time slot, the best activity for us by far, and no comparison. So this is what is required, is the nucleus. This devotee association is the key, is the nucleus or is the life air, the life force, the prana of bhakti. The prana of bhakti is sadhu sang. The means of bhakti is sadhu sang, the end of bhakti. How do you get into bhakti? Sadhu sang, through sadhu sang only, devotee association. What do you get out of bhakti? We get sadhu sang, devotee association. So the way to enter into bhakti, the means is sadhu sang. And the end, what does bhakti give us? It should lead us to further more refined, newer, deeper, more inner, more closer devotee association. And as we were studying, discussing, once we learn how to live with devotees of Krishna, then Krishna won't at all be far off. So Krishna will have no problem accepting us. Once we learn, once we please the devotees of Krishna. Once devotees of Krishna are happy with us, if they have signed us off, if they have approved us, then what else Krishna needs? So this, that we become ever subservient to devotees of Krishna, ever subservient. Das Das Anudas. Mahaprabhu's teachings is this Das Das Anudas. It is not like, okay, I become Krishna Das now. As we were discussing yesterday, Krishna tells to Arjuna, Ye me bhakta jana partha, na me bhakta chate jana. Means, Ye me bhakta jana partha, one who considers, one who says himself that Krishna, I am your devotee. He is actually not my devotee. Krishna says this. Mad bhaktanam chaye bhakta. One who is a devotee of my devotee. Mad bhaktanam chaye bhakta. Sa me bhakta tamomata. My opinion is what? One who is a devotee of my devotee, I consider him to be my devotee. So our process of Krishna consciousness is in anugatya bhava, meaning in followership, in following. And this is again with the teachings of Rupa Goswami, and we will see in this in Nectar of Instruction, we will see this as well. The power of following, the beauty of following, the joy of following someone, the joy of following the lead of someone, and the peace and the calmness, the relaxation in following someone. We don't have to apply our brains, and that frees us. Na? A conditioned soul, if he does not have to, as such, like make decision, apply his intelligence and all, such a blessing, such a relief. Na? Otherwise, a conditioned soul, if he is given choices, very dangerous for a conditioned soul to have so different choices. You cannot decide. Na? Struggles with decision making. What is eternally good for me and what is not good for me eternally. A conditioned soul, if he is given like to apply his intelligence, it is a fact actually. A conditioned soul, given him a choice to make a decision, is bound to make the wrong decision, is bound to make the wrong choice. Conditioned soul means what? He will justify himself, will make a room for justification in his action or decision. Conditioned soul means he will settle himself with a lower vision, with a less eternal vision. He will settle down himself with a not pure Krishna consciousness, with a slant in Krishna consciousness. So a conditioned soul, it is too much of a ask or not good for a conditioned soul when he's put forward with many choices, many options, decision making for him. It actually would not help him advance. And conditioned soul for himself, he should never take matters in hand. We should never take things at hand. We should never take matters in hand. We should be driven by Krishna. Na? Krishna should take things and Krishna has got things in the hand. Krishna is the supreme controller, provided we allow. I mean, even if we don't allow, yet he remains the supreme controller, but he is the supreme controller. And in our life, we allow him. Yes, Krishna, you reign my life fully. You completely control me fully. And then life will take a different vision, a different angle, a different direction. Different things will come in our life. Everything will be very direct Krishna consciousness, and we will be able to perceive, we will be able to realize. We'll find more charm, more intrigue, more inspiration, more enthused, and we have to be. We have to be motivated, we have to be inspired, we have to be intrigued, we have to be enthused. We can never afford to think any negative or give ourselves any negative feed or any negative thought. So, bhakti means what? Sadhu sang. Simple. Bhakti is sadhu sang. Sadhu sang. Sadhu sang means what? Sadhu attachment. Sadhu sang should lead towards attachment towards devotees. If not becoming attached to devotees, then it is not like proper sadhu sang. So that is bhakti. That is Krishna consciousness. And again, the pran, the life air of the life air of sadhu sang, of bhakti is again what? Sadhu sang. That is the nucleus. The means of bhakti is sadhu sang, the end of bhakti is also sadhu sang. Uh, that is the means and end of bhakti. Without sadhu sang, there is no bhakti. There is no bhakti without sadhu sang. So with this mood, aim, aspiration, prayer, uh, desire, hankering, understanding, we continue our study of Nectar of Instruction, and text 5 is what we are going to see today. So, Harsha can read maybe translation and we'll share reading the purports. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसाद्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत प्रणतभिश्च भजतामहीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविज्ञानमनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यहृदयमीप्सितसङ्गलब्ध्य. Shall we translation?
One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others.
Anila purport and Mahashri Kirtavas.
In order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocity mentioned in the previous verse, one must select proper persons with careful discrimination. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore advises that we should meet with the Vaishnavas in an appropriate way, according to their particular status. In this verse, he tells us how to deal with three types of devotees: the Kanishta Adhikari, the Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari is a neophyte who has received the Harinama initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. One should respect such a person within his mind as a Kanishta Vaishnava. A Madhyama Adhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Madhyama Adhikari should be considered to be situated midway in devotional service. The Uttama Adhikari or highest devotee is one who is very advanced in devotional service. An Uttama Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, the association and service of such a Mahabhagavata, a perfect Vaishnava, are most desirable.
Yeah. Continue one more.
One should not remain a Kanishta Adhikari, one who is situated on the lowest platform of devotional service and is interested only in worshipping the deity in the temple. Such a devotee is described in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11.2.47.
अर्चायाम एव हरये पूजां यः श्रद्धयेत न तद्भक्तेषु चान्येषु स भक्तः प्रकृते स्मितः.
A person who is very faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple, but who does not know how to behave toward devotees or people in general, is called a Prakrita Bhakta or Kanishta Adhikari. One therefore has to raise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyama Adhikari. The Madhyama Adhikari is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.46 in this way. Ishware tad adhikeshu baleshu dvisatsu cha prema maitri prapopeksha ya karoti sa madhyama.
Uh, okay. Hare Krishna. Okay. The Madhyama Adhikari is the devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love, makes friends with the Lord's devotees, is merciful to the ignorant and avoids those who are envious by nature.
This is the way to cultivate devotional services properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. We can see from practical experience that there are different types of Vaisnavas. The Bhakta Sahajis generally chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are generally not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown a favor if they are eager to receive proper instruction from pure devotees. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances. In this Krishna consciousness movement, a chance is given to everyone without discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Everyone is invited to join this movement, sit with us, take prasada, and hear about Krishna. When we see that someone is actually interested in Krishna consciousness and wants to be initiated, we accept him as a disciple for the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the orders of the spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaisnava, and obeisances should be offered onto him. One of many such Vaisnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds of japa beads, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaisnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari, highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought.
The process by which a devotee becomes attached to Krishna is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Dikshakare Bhaktakare Atma Samarpana Se Kale Krishna Tare Kare Atma Sama. At the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders to the service of the Lord Krishna accepts him to be as good as he himself. Diksha, or spiritual initiation, is explained in the Bhakti Sandarbha 868 by Srila Jiva Goswami. Divyam Yanam Yato Didyat Kuryat Papasyam Sankshayam Tasmad Dikshati Sa Prokta Rishikesh Tatvar Kovita. By Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life. We have seen many practical examples of We have seen many practical examples of this, especially in Europe and America. Many students who come to us from rich and respectable families quickly lose all interest in material enjoyment and become very eager to enter into spiritual life. Although they come from very wealthy families, many of them accept living conditions that are not very comfortable. Indeed, for Krishna's sake, they are prepared to accept any living condition as long as they can live in the temple and associate with Vaishnavas. When one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for initiation for the spiritual master. For the advancement of the spiritual life, Srimad Bhagavatam prescribes tapasa brahmacharya.
दादी और मैं बैठी थी तो दादी कहने लगी हमारा बैंक बैलेंस जीरो होता जा रहा है और अब मुझे ही कुछ करना पड़ेगा.
Samena cha, damena cha. When a person is serious about accepting diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control of the mind and body. If one is so prepared and is desirous of res- hmm? Half of this is like covered, so it's hard to read. Of receiving spiritual enlightenment, he Divyam he is fit for being initiated. Divyam is technically called Tat Vinyanam, or knowledge about the Supreme. Tat. When one is interested in the transcendental subject matter of the absolute truth, he should be initiated. Such a person should approach a spiritual master in order to take Diksha. Srimad Bhagavatam also prescribes Tajman. When one is actually interested in the transcendental science of the absolute truth, he should approach a spiritual master.
And what?
Hamira can read translation.
Where is the translation? I don't know how to read it.
Harsha translation low screen पे.
Where is the here? Control. I don't know how to read. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the whole name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisance to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged to worshiping the deity. One should associate with faithfully serve pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others.
Haribol. Were you able to hear Renas and Alicia and others, huh? Were they audible enough?
Yes,
Oh,
Hare Krishna.
nice. So we continue. Text 5 is what, and we'll see furthermore into the purports. But look, beautiful translation and beautiful message. The slokas also, na? See, nectar of instruction, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, each and every sloka, they can be sung. Now, what does it imply? If something is there which can be sung in a song form, say in a sweet melodious song form, what does it mean? Does it mean something? Does it give any message, or how does one feel? When does one hymn? Hymn is it called? Humming or hymning, or when one is happy, one generally sings, right? When one is in a happy mood, one generally sings or hymns. Or if one is singing, internally he could be in any mood. But if one is singing, what is observed? That okay, he must be a happy person. Is it not? If someone is humming, hymning, or singing a bit, internally or inside his head, there could be lots going on. But if one is able to sing, say, so we see Bhagavad Gita, the whole Bhagavad Gita is spoken, is in song form. Gita means song, na? Spoken in song form. And it was spoken when in the middle of a big crisis, in the middle of a war. Krishna was speaking or say singing to Arjuna. Arjuna was also replying in song form, they both were having this dialogue. And this nectar of instruction, each instruction can be sung. Bhagavatam, the shlokas are sung. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyetam दीक्षास्ति चेत प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्ताम ईशम् शुश्रूषया भजन विज्ञानमनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्य हृदयम् ईप्सित संगलब्ध्या कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितम. Giri is like speech, to call out. Call out what? Krishneti yasya giritam. So to call out the names of Krishna. That thing, manasadriyeta, by mind or something. So here the instruction for us is, look, there are categories, na? So there are categories in devotees practicing devotional service in three categories. What? Kanishta, Madhyam and Uttama. Kanishta. Kanishta is someone who is in the a very beginner, a basic beginner, na? Like Adriana, you were saying something yesterday, Prasadam Hall, like that when Pip was mentioning something about like bringing some energy into the temple room or something. Okay, so Kanishta is someone, say, externally, or say one who is a bit say new in Krishna consciousness, or one who hasn't revived this Krishna consciousness. Huh? Might have practiced in previous lifetimes, definitely, but it has not yet in this life come very nicely to the surface. And one who is still practicing but carrying a low faith, say. One who is carrying a very low faith, and one who is having low, say, attraction, attachment, and surrender in the practice of Krishna consciousness. That is Kanishta. Nishtha, nishtha, na? This nishtha means situated. So firmly situated is one who is nishtha, one who is convinced of the philosophy of practice of Krishna consciousness, very nicely convinced. Then Kanishta, Ka is one who is not firmly situated. One who is not firmly situated. So one who has not found his fully resolved attraction or confirmation in the practice of Krishna consciousness. That is the low level of one devotee, still a devotee. Then what? Madhyam level devotee. Madhyam means middle stage devotee, who is neither a top class and nor like a just a beginner, say. So he has a bit of a higher faith in the practice of Krishna consciousness. This medium stage, one who is enrolling himself, one who is taking association of devotees, and one who is learning in the association of devotees, one who is doing reading, hearing, chanting, and wanting to know more and practicing Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees. So that is Madhyama, the medium category or the middle level. Then this Uttama, top class. So the lowest level, the beginner stage, the middle stage, and the highest stage or the top stage or the top class. Top class devotee is who is very fixed up in Krishna consciousness, firmly attached. One who is faithfully serving, sincerely serving. One who is following the lotus feet of a pure devotee. And one of the best quality of a of a top class devotee is what? Is devoid of this propensity to criticize others. Such a great quality. He's so light-hearted. A pure devotee is very light-hearted, soft-hearted, kind-hearted. He cannot criticize anyone. Not that he does not criticize. In his mind, in his consciousness, it doesn't come about at all. That criticism, it doesn't come about. Who struggles to see fault in others. One who struggles to see fault in others. One who this top class level of devotee is one who considers himself to be a very low level of devotee. That I'm just a beginner in Krishna consciousness, and who sees others as very advanced, very focused, very nicely advanced in Krishna consciousness. So Rupa Goswami here is instructing us that how do we live in association of devotees and how do we deal when living in the company of devotees. So what someone who is a beginner, one who has not yet developed his faith very much, and as we were reading, right? So someone who is still like say in a beginning stage, not developed his faith very much, and what that is still into very much into the mode of sense gratifications. That what practicing Krishna consciousness, but still uh, outside of Krishna consciousness, he has got many other agendas, many other engagements, many other desires, and is grossly involved, actively perhaps involved in fulfilling or chasing those dreams and desires, which are not directly Krishna conscious desires, say, or dreams. So, in nutshell, who is in still has a huge attraction towards name, fame, money, so sense gratification, attraction towards opposite sex and related. So, and still he does some, say, as we were saying, one who does a bit of, say, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, but yet very nicely settled in his worldly desires, very nicely occupied, spread out in his worldly desires. So, seeing that person, we should honor him, we should respect him, but from a distant only. We should not much mingle with such a person. Uh, we should just mentally, from a distance, respect him. And yes, that doesn't mean that if he comes to the temple and wants to spend time with us, then we neglect him or avoid him and we run opposite direction. No, we should speak with him. We should be there with him, and we should be as Krishna conscious as we can be, and we should propagate and speak on Krishna consciousness. But say outside of this and all, we shouldn't personally be much involved or engaged with him. Why? Because see now in societal sense, leave Krishna consciousness for a matter. And we see in our say school, college, uni, student, working life, and sort of life in general. Some person, if I have attraction or attachment towards some engagement, but there's another person who hardly shares that level of interest, say, and and he has deep interest towards other activities and engagements, which I know that is not so beneficial, won't help me. So what do? We try to not be much friends with him, right? We try to not spend much time with him. If we, for a sadhaka, a devotee, a very important thing is how he manages his time. See, time management, if one can learn, and also deal. How does he spend the time? With whom does he spend the time? So the company one keeps and the time management, how he is utilizing the time. If we are in association of inspiring devotees, very important. Association of devotees is perhaps a bit general. And when further advancing in Krishna consciousness, now we are trying to understand this instruction so that we can find our heart in it and we can advance more in it, right? So, for advancement in Krishna consciousness, just general association of devotees won't really help us a lot. We have to find association of inspiring devotees, inspiring personalities, like Srila Rupa Goswami says, no? In another writings teachings, he said, Sajatiya Sangha, Sajatiya Sangha Asha Sato Vare, Sajatiya Asha Snigdha Sato Vare. So, essentially, taking the association of like-minded devotees, those association in which we can develop a mood, we can develop a desire, we can develop a heart, huh? That association. So when we associate with them, it is a thing, association. I don't know how. There's some English expression, right? What it says? Something it rubs off or rubs off the skin, something like that, right? And it's a fact. We become who we associate with. We become who we associate with. So now there are different levels of devotees and how to, in practical sense, how to associate with them, how much and in what way. So someone who is at a beginning stage, say, so at a distance, maintain distance, which we see in societal workings as well. Now someone who has good faith, good sincerity, wanting to learn, eager to learn, keen to learn, one who is preparing himself for, say, undergoing initiation or has gone initiation, say, and one who is engaged in bhajan kriya, in devotional engagements aspects. So we should spend time with him. We should be friends with him. We should be more close with him, say, and we should share, okay, how what is one learning, how is one coping and learning and finding inspiration, say. Uh, and then there is a personality, a pure devotee. Uttama Adhikari. Adhikari means right. है ना? Kanishta Adhikari means who has a right, but his rights he is exercising is at a very low level. Then someone exercising at a right at a very medium level, say middle level, and then someone exercising a light right is right to the topmost levels. So quality we have to imbibe in ourselves is not being critical. It's a, it's a great quality. Another thing, what does it mean? Someone who is unassuming. What does it mean? Yes, Venus?
Question.
Yeah.
Should I ask?
Maybe it would be better if you can ask us.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I was wondering about the like in translation it says that the devotee has to be complete, devoid of from like having this propensity to judge someone, right? But if we manage, if there's a case, right, where we do have this idea or thought of like judging someone, what to do in that situation? Because from my personal experience, it just comes automatically. You see something and you just kind of like, oh, you know, you wanna straight away just give some comments and then maybe like bad judgment usually. So what to do in that situation?
Yeah, thank you. So if I understand the question is, we carry judgmental mentality, right? And what to do in such a situation wherein we are with some devotee and we are actually creating some judgment in our minds. Is that the question? How to not be judgmental in Krishna consciousness? How to,
Or any training, yes.
yeah, how to not judge someone.
Yeah.
Uh, the translation says there are three categories of devotee. One is in the lowest stage, so we should mentally honor him from a distance. In Krishna consciousness, we never get a liberty to disrespect anyone, to offend anyone, disrespect anyone. Doesn't matter howsoever the personality be, say. And of course, if someone is a real blasphemer, someone is very anti-Krishna conscious, someone is who is very envy of Krishna, then we should be very vocal and we should speak out. We should speak out. But even then, we should not harbor from inside a very strong enviousness towards that person. No. If the other person is envious, that doesn't give me a license that I be envious towards him. I also hold that envious. Rather, somehow or other, if I can bring him to the exploration of Krishna consciousness, somehow or other, if I can explain, express some basic or some level of teachings or understandings of Krishna consciousness, somehow or other, if I can pacify his heart through good, gentle words or even strong words. But in deep inside, I should never harbor animosity or enviousness towards such person. Hmm. So it does not give us any right, any license to disrespect anyone. A person could be engaged in all sorts of immoral activities. but we do not get a right that, okay, when Krishna consciousness teaches us to distinguish the person from the mind. Person is always good. Person is good, meaning deep down inside the person is a pure potential devotee of Krishna. Huh? Problem is where the mind. The mind is the problem. Mind is not nicely engaged. Mind is the problem. Mind is all over same. Just speaking of mind, see, two things are very much needed in life. Again, nectar of instruction, life in general. Two things I would say are extremely important and could be with related to, say, one thing with related to mind is extremely important. What would you say? One thing with in relation to mind, tremendously, extremely important for everyone. Again, when we say Krishna consciousness, take it life in general. Pip says discipline. Discipline is okay. Something is discipline is also important, helpful, required. But this quality is something extremely important with mind. Patience. Patience is fine, but something else. Yes, Anuja?
As Prabhupada it
Huh?
needs, as Prabhupada says, it needs to be beaten in the morning and before going to bed.
Yeah, that's fine. That is training the mind. The mind needs training. Still okay, okay. Friendship, training the mind, disciplining the mind, developing a quality of being patient is all good, all fine. Just a perspective, a thing with mind which is most important at every stage and every perspective of our life on a daily basis is what? Presence of mind. Having the proper presence of mind. No? We all have mind, but how many of us have the presence of mind? Mind everyone has. Devotees go out, distribute books. The book distribution, normally speaking, is 2 to 5 minute affair. Somehow you stop someone, the person stops, and you speak with him for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Sometimes can go for a conversation, half an hour maybe, and then another devotee comes in and somehow tells, okay, let's go, move on, or you have given to. But it's 2 to 5 minute thing, na? And in that 2 to 5 minute, what comes about? Presence of mind. We don't know the other person who we are meeting, what is he going to say. He may say something, he may not. Not book distribution is such a great service, such a eye opener, brings so much of realization, so much of learning. Book distribution invokes compassion for sure. Big book distribution makes one humble for sure. Book distribution makes one think that what am I doing, and completely brings the Krishna consciousness, everything live, and one can see how much I actually love, I harbor, how much I know, and where I'm going. The world becomes like very clear, upside down, or very clear, seeing in book distribution. And it's a very joyous activity, very satisfying service. So book distribution, no, it's like a 2 to 5 minute engagement interaction and what presence of mind. Not just book distribution, living in temple, many people come. How do we deal? How do we interact at homes and everywhere? So mind is one thing we all carry, but having that presence of mind is extremely important. In fact, with training the mind, meditation, mantra meditation, presence of mind is extremely important. How we present ourselves, what we speak, what we talk, everything, no? Finer details, how we walk, how we eat, how we honor. Hmm. Like other day we were discussing the enthusiasm. Enthusiasm can be a very misunderstood term as well. In enthusiasm there is scope, allowance for us to be what? Desperate. Desperation is very good. Someone who is desperate in practicing Krishna consciousness, wanting to advance in Krishna consciousness. So enthusiasm and synonymous or these qualities like desperation, intensity, extremely important, eagerness, hmm, intense desire, concentration, very concentrated, very absorbed. See, human life gives us this opportunity Doesn't matter theist or atheist, whatever our engagement could be, if we can find absorption in our engagement. Now take this as a question. We see many people, they're engaged in many activities in life, right? Ourselves also, we do many activities. But what is it where I am fully absorbed or fully engaged, fully concentrated, fully focused, deep in thought? Now, it need not be a direct Krishna conscious activity. It could be selling ice creams. uh, It could be traveling. It could be holiday. It could be making money. It could be sports, football. Absorption Absorption is a great quality. Someone who has developed absorption. People play sports, but not many manage to develop that absorption in sport, politics and all. So one who has found absorption, he's blessed. See, take this as a question. What do you see? An absorbed person, he will never be sad. He will never be depressed. Someone who is a very drunkard means he's found his absorption or concentration or focus or enthusiasm or intensity or eagerness in alcohol. One who is a pure alcoholic, he will never be sad, because the absorption, one finds so much charm in that absorption. Now one is so much absorbed in, maybe say, playing chess or sudoku. Many people, they are so liking to play sudoku. We say this thing. Now, someone who is absorbed in Sudoku, what is going in the outside world doesn't matter. Those who are absorbed, many tech companies, technological companies, they conduct 3 day, 4 day festival, not tech fest. And those 3 days, 4 days, there's some teams being built, some assignments and things going on, do some coding, programming. People get so absorbed, engrossed. Programming, coding is such a thing. It can suck one's blood out altogether, or life or focus out. And bless those devotees who are into jobs and who do computer programming or developing and coding and all. It's a very, I would say, blood saturating role. And how can you uh, engage in your then job and engage in Krishna consciousness? A bit beyond me, say. This 3 day, 4 day technological fest, many companies conduct worldwide, Google and other companies and all. And in those 3 days, 4 days, person, he stops sleeping. It's only when he just body cannot, then he goes sleeps for 1 or 2 hours. And in that sleep also, what is going? Programming in his head, is it not? Huh? He stops eating. Just when nature's call, he has to attend, he goes. Otherwise, lost in absorption. So, blessed are those who have found their absorption in life. It could be whatever, but found an absorption. Now, if unkrishna absorption, then they will be at peace, but for the moment, for the time. Beyond that, no. Next life, no, and all. Now, such a great quality. Now we say these things. Sudoku is a very interesting game, na? Sudoku, crossword puzzle, say reading newspaper. Now, the many board games. Board games. One of the board game is what? Not chess. Chess is a good board game. Some intelligence is used there, but we'll come in a minute to chess. There's one board game called Snake and Ladder. Everyone must have heard and played as well, right? And similar board game, another side of Snake and Ladder, I don't know, some in India call it Ludo. I don't know what it is called in Western world, say. Ludo, is it? Okay. So this is something I find it very fascinating. I played growing up, me, my sister Anuja, we used to play and growing up, say. So this Ludo and Snake and Ladder. Now, what is the game of Ludo? You throw a dice, whatever number comes, you move ahead. Huh? Or someone can cut you out, something, some variety around it. But it is such a game. What intelligence is required here? Nothing. What have you got to do? Just throw a dice, come what will come, and you move accordingly. But we get so absorbed, so absorbed. I was shocked to learn Ludo, there is online Ludo game. Online Ludo game. and some forum or platform where people, unknown strangers and all, can come in and play Ludo, actually make teams and even knowns and all. I learned this in COVID time. Some of my friends, however, they were spending their lockdown time playing Ludo online, 2 hours daily. There are many people in lockdown time. How do they spend lockdown? We spend it like this, spend it like that. Amazing things, very, let's say, interesting engagements people were doing. So thing is, if one can find his or her absorption in Ludo, na, it's such a absorbing game. You play, then you lose, one feels very sad, does it not? If one loses the game of Ludo, feels like a part of me has lost. Huh? Feels like such a hurt, and feels, oh no, I'm such a poor player. Huh? He or she is such a better player. Why can I not get number 4 or 5 or 6 or what the number I want? And how does she or he play and they get the number? I need to practice more. It happens, right? A part of me is, and if we win, wow, so good we feel. Hmm. Yes, I'm expert at Ludo. Now I wonder what is the quality required to be expert at Ludo? What quality? Na? So the point is absorption. So if one can find his absorption or enthusiasm, huh, or this desperation in a game of Ludo, how can we not be absorbed in chanting them? If we can be absorbed in a fickle game like Ludo, and our mind doesn't get distracted, then surely we can chant as well, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and our mind will find absorption. Our mind will find concentration. Huh? Of course, if we can get so much attracted by Ludo that we forget eating, sleeping, and all, then Japa, why not? Of course. Hmm? So this is a thing, absorption, na? Developing this deep concentration. So with mind is helpful, but what is required? Meaning presence of mind, good presence of mind in devotee settings, how we are, where we are, how we eat, how we sleep, how we talk, what we talk, in front of whom. Lots of details, lots of details. Yesterday we were discussing now philosophy, culture, and etiquette. What is most important in this? Again, this question. Philosophy, there's culture, and there's etiquette. What is most important? Hmm? Adriana answered, no? Philosophy. Philosophy is the base of culture. Philosophy is the base of etiquette as well. Even in human society, we see a brother-sister relationship. There's a different relationship. Then boyfriend-girlfriend relationship is different. But in animal society, there's no such relationship, brother-sister or boyfriend-girlfriend. No, no, not that any culture or etiquette things in nature. So, but we see this. So the culture and etiquette, the basis is what? Philosophy. So the more we are clear with philosophy of Krishna consciousness, the more we'll find our enthusiasm, our absorption. Now, enthusiasm could be a bit misread as well. Enthusiasm doesn't mean that when, say, curtains open and say when arti is being offered, so ghee lamp is being offered, and the pujari, the priest, the devotees offering ghee lamp, but I stand in front of him. Come on, quickly give me ghee lamp. I will take it to the devotees. No, that doesn't mean enthusiasm. Enthusiasm doesn't mean like, okay, you take flowers around across devotees and make them smell. So you take it so quickly that in 5 seconds you have taken it across 50 devotees. So enthused. No, that is not enthusiasm. Thing is, we want to be enthused. We want to be very enthusiastic. Desperate is a great quality. We can develop desperation for Krishna. One thing we don't want in this process of becoming enthusiastic, desperate, intense hankering, this absorption, concentration, focus. What is not wanted is being restless. Many times, enthusiasm, in the thinking enthusiasm, we become actually restless, or we might be acting restless, taking ourselves to be enthusiastic. Say. Or enthusiasm has to be developed, but not restlessness. Again, in life, general, student life, whatever life, Restlessness never helps. Imagine a child. See this, a young child. You're in your family, nephew, niece, whosoever, a young boy child. Now he's very desperate. He's very enthusiastic. He's very intense, focused, concentrated, absorbed in playing Ludo. Say. Now one likes that. One finds sweet. A child who is very desperate, enthused, and all. One find it sweet, and then you submit to the child's enthusiasm. But if the child is restless, restless means what? Getting on someone's nerve. Restless means getting on someone's case. So if the child is restless, then it is not desired, it is not respected. The child being restless. So we have to be enthused, definitely. We want to be very enthusiastic, but not restless in Krishna consciousness. Shri Shri Khodanitai Mayapur Sashi Ki. Renas, you were saying something? Or maybe you had a question or something? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I was just wondering if if to play a Ludo, you don't require any like specific, intelligence. Like you don't require intelligence, right? So, and there's no really like qualifications to play the Ludo. It's also kind of same applies for chanting, right? There's no real qualifications who can chant, right? Then why people are more attracted to Ludo than chanting?
Very nice question. So, playing a game of Ludo, there's no hard and fast rules around it, right? Not much qualification is required. You can play it anytime, anywhere, online, and wherever, anytime, and so much. So, why is it that people are so attracted to playing Ludo and not to then doing Japa? Because we people, we are after short time pleasure or very short term vision. We want something instant, something quick. We see now we are after gross pleasure, say. Oh, playing Ludo, it gives us sensation, something that gives us a quick sensation. We find good interest in there, something that gives. So Ludo game, quickly, some quick sensation, and this feeling, I won. Oh, come play again. Best of five we will play. We'll play 5 games and then we'll decide who is the winner, who is the loser. So because of this short vision, short game, short thing, and there's no service attitude in there. Playing Ludo, who is serving whom? No one. No one. Who is benefiting? This is why, Karmi dealing with Karmi serving Karmi, no one benefits. Neither Karmi is benefit. So does this answer your question, Renas? In Krishna consciousness, whatever activity we do, the nature of engagement in Krishna consciousness by default is it puts us into the trajectory of eternity. Hmm? But so howsoever beautiful may be the game of Ludo, but still it will put us in the mundane stratosphere or strata only. It will put us in the short term temporary gain. So, one thing with mind, if we can be mindful of, is having a good presence of mind. Uh, Philosophy, culture, etiquette, extremely important. See, how do we win the heart of a devotee? Not by telling him the philosophy, not by telling a devotee, oh, do you know this philosophy, that philosophy, or this shloka or that shloka? No, that is fine, that is good, but more by good culture, good etiquette, good behavior. Krishna conscious culture, etiquette, behavior is we win the heart of a devotee and society as well, friends, family, through good culture, etiquette, behavior we can win someone's heart, but that there has to be philosophy behind it, backing it up. So with mind, if we can somehow develop this good presence of mind. Now, just coming to my mind with this mind and presence of mind, in society, there are Three kinds of people. Some are, or few are wise. Few are wise, many are otherwise. In society, there are three kinds of people. Few are wise, many are otherwise, and rest are in between. So Krishna consciousness, again, these three stages of devotee, three levels, na? It is for us to go from, we are the otherwise case actually. It is for us to go to become fully wise. Okay, let me on this presence of mind coming to a question again. Huh? Can you tell me what is the most uncommon commodity in this world? Most uncommon possession, most uncommon, say, quality, most uncommon commodity in this world. I don't want to give any other hint because that will be straight giving the answer. Sir. A most uncommon emotion, quality, commodity we carry at large, and you can check for yourself and see. Harsha, Anuja, others. Okay, should I say? What is the most uncommon commodity, quality, say emotion we all carry? Personality in ourselves or this quality perhaps. Did you say something, Indian? Okay. The most uncommon quality we all carry is the most uncommon um, thing we lack is in having a common sense. Having a common sense. We observe humans are the most funny, let's say, interesting species again. Right? And we humans, we struggle with a basic common sense. See the things we do in life, it's so common. Like, I mean, see something for yourself, and the other person does it other way. We tell, like Reynolds was saying, "What's wrong, Prabhu? This is such a common sense. Why don't you do this? Why does it not get in your hand?" It's such a common thing, no? The thing we struggle with is common sense. We struggle heavily. And this is this devotee association which will teach us. So if we learn how to associate with devotees, with whom to maintain distance, mentally honor them, not having much physical contact, dialogue, as in spending in some physical proximity time with them. No, should not be done. It is not good for our advancement in Krishna consciousness and not for the other persons, other devotees as well. And it is not like a sort of a racism or not like that discrimination sort of thing. Oh, look how insulting or this, he's not. No, we have to grow ourselves. Not so someone is studying, and imagine someone wants to be a neuroscientist, say for example, if someone studying neuroscience. Now the person should be, uh, if the person spends some more time with someone who is not at all into neuroscience or who has got many, say, fallacies or something around neuroscience which is not encouraging, it's not helpful na, for one to spend time like that. So in life general, so how this mentally honoring some devotees, then living in physical proximity with some other devotees, those who are gone through the process of initiation, those who are further practicing Krishna consciousness and actively practicing that. And what furthermore, we should cherish, we should relish, we should pray, and we should serve faithfully a soul who is free from the propensity to criticize. One of the quality or definition of mind is what? One of the functioning quality or definition of mind is what? Mind is an unemployed critic. Mind is such a critic. Critic means no, film critic, sports critic, other critic. Mind is the most unemployed critic. We don't employ the mind. We don't engage the mind. No? We don't employ him. We don't pay. But it's so critical mind. What does mind start first saying? Critics only, no? So critical. What does mind learn to say first? No. Negative. No. Just like mind is, this is why his mind is like a child which needs guiding, which needs looking after, which needs caring. Children, na, if you tell them something, they come with a response no only. You know, funny, if you have to get something done with children, see with your nephew, niece, and try. Tell them that no, you are not going to put on these shoes. No, no, don't wear these shoes. If you want the child to wear that shoe, what is the way to tell him or her? No, no, don't wear this shoe. Do not put on this shoe. This won't look good on you. No, you do not try that. I am telling you, you don't do. So the child will do it, right? Don't walk into that room. No, you don't have to go into that. So the child will go into that. So that is mind. That is mind like. Very childish, na? We discussed, na? There's one thing childish, another is what? Childlike. What is better? What is required? Childlike, no? That is Krishna consciousness. See, childlike meaning what? Free from the quality to criticize someone. Again, childlike meaning what? Free from anger, say. Childlike meaning what? Free from lust. Free from sex desire, say. This. Childlike meaning what? Free from this name, fame, or sense of self obsession and all. That thing. And until and unless we can free ourselves from this bodily oriented lust, we cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. No. And higher than this bodily oriented lust is what? Lust for subtle subject matters like name and fame. Pride is very stronger than lust, heavy than lust. Pride. So finding pride or fascination, these are not at all a quality of a sadhaka. So this is what we try to associate with someone who is free, whose heart is free from the propensity to criticize others. There is another English term meaning saying what? A person is unassuming. What does that mean? To say that a person, he is unassuming person, or he has an unassuming quality, if I'm putting it correct in English. Ever heard or this unassuming, huh? Harsha, Anuja, others? What does it?
I would say like maybe the opposite is somebody could easily irritate you.
Okay, so unassuming, the opposite is someone who can easily irritate us. Say. Could it be the opposite, say, someone who is very assuming, as in someone who has very preconceived notions, someone who has very preconceived thoughts, someone who has very preconceived ideas and all beliefs, na? Oh, he must be like this only. She must be like this. I don't think so. There's much hope from her. I don't think so. There's much hope from him and all. So carrying this assuming personality, no, assuming one who assumes that this is the best he can do, this is the best she can do, and all. Uh, this sort of thing. So a pure devotee is unassuming. Means his heart is free from criticizing or ranking or judging someone. That doesn't mean practicing Krishna consciousness. Say someone who is the temple president. Now should he be unassuming? In heart, at heart, he should be unassuming. But in behavioral sense, practical behavioral sense, if we are unassuming, we cannot function in this world. We cannot function. So the one pure devotee, na Uttama Adhikari, for preaching purpose, for preaching purpose, he has to come down to Madhyam Adhikari, to the middle level, and then preach for preaching purpose. So to externally say propagate Krishna consciousness, to share Krishna consciousness, to make people explain and how to live in behavioral sense. But within heart, we should always be unassuming. There are two things in life, na? One is doubt, another is I don't know what is going on with me today. It's just coming to me mind, presence of mind. Okay, please check. One thing is being mindful, meaning what? Presence of mind, having a presence of mind. Another, what we say, Ludo. If one could be interested in Ludo, I'm sure the person can manage to do japa as well. Hmm? If one can find absorption in Ludo. Then one thing is uncommon in this world is having a common sense. Is uncommon. Now another is doubt. One thing is doubt. Another is what? Benefit of doubt. Benefit of doubt. So this quality to not criticize someone is what? Giving others the benefit of doubt. We should always give benefit of doubt to the other person. Of course, if someone is a gross blasphemer, very some person, if he comes straight into the temple carrying a machete or something to destroy the temple, then we cannot give him the benefit of doubt, and we should act, we should revolt and all. We should be full showing our fire against that person, say. But we should be giving benefit of doubt to others. And when it comes to me, I should be doubtful. I should be doubting. I give an example. See, some of us might have noticed, and when we are in this service, I think many of us will notice. Say, see, serving prasadam, na, serving food. Sunday feast, big prasadam being served. Some other festivals, big prasadam, lots of preparations. Now, what happens? You serve prasadam to someone. The other person could be fourth in the queue, and we have noticed he's fourth in the queue. And what does our mind may say? Oh, look, he's going to come. I think he will go for 5 puris this time, and he will take this much rice and this much. I think this feast he will help 2 helpings of paneer, of curd. So when it comes to the other person, the other devotee, we don't, we may not be giving a benefit of doubt. We must be, how hungry is he? Look, he overeats. This is too much eating. But when it comes to ourselves in the queue, lining up for taking prasad, we bring every justification we might bring. I'm not saying we might bring every justification in our head to justify ourselves to go for another puri. Maybe I deserve one. I worked hard today. It's okay. It's just one Sunday, a Sunday feast. I know a bit milk does not go well with me, or oil does not go well with me, but it's fine. One puri, I can work out and all. So when it comes to myself, I might give myself every benefit of doubt to wake up late in the morning. I may set the alarm what 3:30 a.m. to be on time for Mangal Aarti, or 3:45 a.m. or 4 a.m. to be on time for Mangal Aarti. But I may give myself each and every reason, excuse, every the benefit of doubt to lie for another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes, or to be a bit late in waking up. But when it comes to other, doubt so much. Well, he went to bed at half 8. Why does he need so much of sleep? Uh, he's always late. So this is the functioning of mind. And blessed are those who are free from this propensity to criticize others. Criticism is like another form of politics only. Na? There's no room for politics in Krishna consciousness. Criticism does not mean that there is no room for correction. Yes, that is there. Correction and this. Meaning, at heart, one should not be criticizing. We can be speaking another thing. Is it wrong to speak hard? Is it wrong to speak strong? Is it wrong to speak very, say, cutting? Cutting? No, it is not wrong to speak a bit cutting. It is not wrong to speak hard. It is not wrong to speak strong. But it is wrong to speak rude. It is wrong to speak insulting. It is wrong to speak offending. It is wrong to speak derogatory. And there is a not a thin line, not a fine line, there's a thick line between speaking strong and speaking rude. Many times we see in society now people when they get angry, there's maybe I'm speaking strong, but they're speaking rude. Speaking rude, speaking insulting, speaking offending is like speaking venom, speaking the venom out, the poison out. No? So that is a pure devotee. He is free from the propensity to criticize others. He's so tolerant, so peaceful. Hmm. And when we come across such a personality who is unassuming, it might happen. Na? Suppose we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we might be living in a box mentality. Why not? Why not? I don't know. All questions are coming to my head now only, and I'm not able to resist them. So kindly tolerate, please. Another question, if someone wants can note and see and check them in reality in society. Huh? What is more uh, dangerous? To live in material illusion or to live in spiritual illusion? There's something called a spiritual illusion as well. What is more dangerous? To live in material illusion or to live in spiritual illusion?
In what sense dangerous?
So, in this sense, another way to say present this question, who is more difficult to be woken up? Someone who is asleep or someone who is acting to be asleep or pretending to be asleep or showing to be asleep? Who is more difficult to be woken up?
Someone who is pretending.
Yes, someone who is pretending to be asleep can never be woken up. I myself used to do it just quickly to say. As a child, na, when I knew, okay, I've done something mischief or something wrong, say, or I've upset my mother, yeah, and evening time or something, and I know, okay, father will be home anytime soon. So I would go acting like I'm so tired now from the day study or whatever I did and all, and quickly have dinner and then bed. So that to not get any disciplined or not get any corrected. And like mom may be saying or may not be saying to my father, say, and just to avoid that, okay, I'm pretending to be asleep. So to wake someone up who is pretending to be asleep cannot be done. Cannot be done. Now, what do? You press alarm, you do whatever. The person is pretending to be asleep, cannot be woken up. Likewise, someone in material illusion and someone in spiritual illusion, much more heavy to be in spiritual illusion means what? To consider oneself to be a devotee. Wow, I must be a middle level devotee. I must be an advanced devotee. To think that, okay, yes, now I have made it, or I'm almost there, or how far have I come? In Krishna consciousness, personally, I don't think so. It is a healthy vision to carry that how far have I come in the practice of Krishna consciousness. What is more healthy to meditate that how far still I am from Krishna, which is more healthy or better, which will put us in the right attitude, the right frame, and which will help us closer to Krishna by genuinely acknowledging, by genuinely convincing ourselves that not how far have I come, rather, how far off am I from Krishna. That attitude. Huh? So that is living in material illusion. Illusion is still okay. Okay, like my say for example, maybe my mom and dad or someone, my friends, family, society, say some other person, a person in the streets in London or India or wherever, say, could be in illusion, na? And living a life of general sense gratification, perhaps. But and if I myself consider, okay, no, I am more in knowledge and then all. But if I have not developed attachment towards Krishna, so again a question: who is more who is more backward, say who is more behind? Someone who is into smoking, intoxication, alcohol, no, who is into daily intoxication, and who is into daily gambling, who is daily into meat eating, and who is daily into some sort of opposite sex attraction, say. So is he more far worse, or someone practicing Krishna consciousness but not yet developed attachment towards Krishna? Who is more, say, behind? Externally, what will look? Someone practicing Krishna consciousness is, of course, much ahead na, than someone who is engaged in all such things. And someone who is chanting and practicing Krishna consciousness is, of course, much ahead. But the devotee himself, if any realized, if any awakened, if one has not developed yet attachment towards Krishna, na, then he will find every reason to be critical of himself only. And he won't find any reason to be critical with anyone else. There is this expression, what? Mind your own business. Many times Pips tells me this, he reminds me actually. Mind your own business. Huh? Mind your own business. So until and unless we have developed any attachment towards Krishna, we should be minding our own business only. That is pure devotee, not critical. No. Again and again, there is a difference being critical something for someone's advancement, for someone's help and all. That also, no, that critical is different. That uh, in the sense that he's criticizing, externally looks criticizing, but what is happening is for someone's internal awakening of Krishna consciousness altogether. So something, does it cover your question, Renas? Judgmental, or you were saying?
Yeah, you answered that. No overall.
So I believe the question was that how to not be judgmental, right? So
Having these thoughts.
yeah, so I think this is the question then, how to not have these thoughts, how to not be judgmental. So again, see this doubt and benefit of doubt. We should always give this benefit of doubt to others. Many times have you experienced um, one thing again we lack in society is communication. Very much miscommunication we carry or do. So see, miscommunication is a very dangerous thing actually, very, very dangerous thing. So many times we experience that out of some poor or miscommunication, the person was fine, he did the fine, but I assumed already something in my mind. And I went forward with that assumption. And later on, I realized, oh no, actually the person was fine. What he did was also fine. And it's just me who assumed. Yeah, I allowed myself. So by this, when with others, we should give the benefit of doubt. For ourselves, we should always be doubting ourselves. And when our vision is evolving in Krishna consciousness, that what does Krishna consciousness mean? Why are we practicing Krishna consciousness? What is it that Krishna consciousness is offering? Especially, what is it that Mahaprabhu is offering? Who is Mahaprabhu? What is he giving us? When we are attracted, when that should really pierce our heart, or that should touch our heart, penetrate our heart. When we see the blessing of Mahaprabhu, only then we can free ourselves from this criticizing mentality, and only then we can advance further in Krishna consciousness. Okay, on this note, maybe I think we can give it a rest here today, and we continue tomorrow same time. And thank you for your kind participation and encouragement. Hare Krishna.